still. There is the 1924 United States peace dollar, the 1924 United States peace dollar. So now we've got also a customer pick, also significantly rarer. The fact that I'm able to hold the same price, the fact that I'm able to hold the same price that I was on the original United States peace dollar with this is the amazing part of this. That's the truly amazing part, is the fact that I can charge the same price as the 1923 is what we did on that. And so that also a customer pick that you're going to have right here, the 1924 United States government issue peace dollar in absolutely stunning, brilliant uncirculated condition again. So rarer than the 23, which is rarer than the 1922. One of the fascinating things is most peace dollars, so the silver that this coin is made out of is almost assuredly made out of Morgan silver dollars. Okay, because they melted down Morgan silver dollars, particularly by the hundreds of millions in the Pittman Act of 1918 to create silver, and they used a lot of that silver to continue on and make the United States peace dollar with that as well. So of critical importance for you to understand this. So the 1924, now we're starting to get significantly rarer. Once you get up to, like, let's say the 1928 in this kind of condition, excuse me, the 1928 peace dollar is all of a sudden hundreds and hundreds of dollars is what we're looking at very best. That's the best possible circumstance that I could do with this. So I've got this coin once again, absolutely stunning, customer pick, $79.95 that we're going to have with this. And so it is critically important for you to understand that these are original. Not reprinted, restruck, or redone in any way, shape, or form. Now, normally we offer the 1922, the 1923, and the 1924. They get, you know, rare, rarer, rarest. Well, we kind of kicked this up a notch by starting with the 1923. And then we went to the 1924, which is significantly rare. Now look at this, once again, understand this coin is nearly 100 years old. This coin is solid silver. It looks as shiny and brand new and brilliant uncirculated as one of the 2020 coins that I just sold you for basically the same exact price. For basically the same exact price. I think that's absolutely critically important for you to understand. So the 1924s. I have a special treat after this, okay? I rarely am able to offer these individually, particularly at the same exact price.